Hey everybody, how's it going? It's the Daily Shooter, and today I want to talk about AB 268 out of the state of Nevada, which has support from MGM Properties, huge property here in Las Vegas. Now, AB 268 seeks to do two different things. One, it seeks to criminalize anybody that has an unfinished, unserialized lower or frame, and it also seeks to criminalize conceal or open carrying in most places. So let's talk about it. This channel is proud to be supported by the USCCA. The U.S. Concealed Carry Association helps responsible Americans like you prepare for what happens before, during, and after an act of lawful self-defense. USCCA members get life-saving education, expert training, plus defense liability insurance. These benefits provide more than 500,000 USCCA members with the peace of mind that they deserve. Plus, a USCCA membership is always risk-free with their 100% money-back, bulletproof guarantee. Membership is truly an investment worth exploring. Click the most important link you might click ever down below and activate your U.S. Concealed Carry Association membership now. Now, AB 286 was heard in committee just a couple days ago, March 17, 2021. That committee meeting was recorded and filmed, and the video is available online. So if you want to watch that committee meeting yourself, I'll put a link down below where you can watch that. It's very interesting to see how these people debate your rights, and they just treat them like it's absolutely nothing. It's just, another note on the docket. So in that meeting, you have the sponsor, the people that support it, the people that are against it, and you also have a representative from the MGM property talking about how he supports it. Now, again, there are two parts to this bill. The first one dealing with unserialized frames and lowers. The other one is dealing with carry. So let's go ahead and talk about the carry aspect of it first, which has to deal a lot with businesses, properties, and events and areas in which you can or can't carry. The restrictions that are going to be put on where you can or can't carry are so tight that it would almost effectively eliminate open or concealed carry in the state of Nevada. The only places that you would be able to open or concealed carry would be on your own sidewalk, maybe in your own vehicle or something like that, as long as that vehicle didn't travel onto some property that was owned by somebody else. But it basically stops carry on just about all public spaces, including churches, including theaters, and including places that typically would be okay in the past. So it really does put a lot of restrictions on carry. What it also does is it gives the owners of private property the ability to opt into this bill, which would then criminalize carry onto property. So let's say, for instance, at MGM, right? If they don't have a metal detector, you decide to carry, you're violating their policy. If they wanted to, they could ask you to leave the property for violating their policy. Well, MGM wants to opt in and say that if they catch you carrying on their property, it's no longer a policy violation, it's now a crime. And so you would be charged with a misdemeanor. Now, here's the thing, these actually accumulate. So the first one would be a misdemeanor, the second one would be a higher class misdemeanor, the third one, and that would be, depending on wherever you were caught, even if you didn't know where it was, because it's so vague as to what exactly is going to be covered under this. So it's very easy to, maybe be caught up in all this. But on the third one, it's a felony, you're going to go to jail, and they have the right to dispose of your carry. So they have the right to dispose of it at that point. It even lists how exactly they would dispose of it under this current bill. So there was a big 20-page amendment that was put forth just the night before, so on the 16th, and a lot of people didn't have time to read it, but there were some amendments that were put in towards this, and those are some that I'm going to have to read a little bit more into because it hasn't been that long. But yeah, it would take carrying somewhere from a simple, hey, you can't have that here. Can you leave the premises or whatever, which is every business owner's right. I mean, it's my right not to ever do business there again. But if they, want to ask you to leave, they can do so, right? They take that from a simple policy matter now to an actual crime and limit where you can go. Now, the second part of this bill is kind of self-explanatory. It seems to be what the left is going for all over the country right now, and that's getting rid of 80% lowers and unserialized frames, things of that nature. So we've seen this coming on a federal level and on a state and local level, and that's what AB 268 is trying to do. Now, the interesting thing about this is they forget to mention, and I watched the video, they forget to mention that, criminals don't follow laws. And so the only people this is going to affect are going to be the law-abiding. You're going to make those people into criminals. So instead of actually addressing the core problem, which is people doing criminal activity, you're just going to punish the law-abiding for doing something that was and is constitutionally protected. So the thing about it that drives me the most nuts is, while I was watching the video and the debate from the sponsor, is that the sponsor goes back and of course she lists all the different events that happened that motivated her to write this bill. And each one of those things would not have been stopped, nor fixed, nor solved by this bill. Not a single one of them. And because, again, it really just boils down to the fact that criminals don't follow these laws. So what you're doing is you're creating an environment where a criminal now has more power than he did before. So a person who seeks to do bad things, when met with somebody else who can defend themselves on an equal playing level, has less likelihood of succeeding in what he was attempting to do versus him walking in somewhere where he knows there's going to be no resistance at all and then going out and following through with his act. If there is no resistance and you take away that resistance from those law-abiding people and the good people that are just trying to defend themselves and their family, all you're doing is making a target-rich environment for the person who could care less that there is even an AB 268 in existence, or 286. They could care less. They don't care about your assembly bills. They don't care about your laws. They went there with the intent to do something bad. And they're going to do that, and by simply disarming people, you've made that situation worse. So instead of calling it, the public safety or public health bill of 2021, why don't you call it what it is, which is the we're endangering the lives of law-abiding citizens bill. That's what I think it should be called. It just works in complete opposite and in complete contrast of what she says that this bill is supposed to do. So again, I'll put a link to the bill down below. I'll put a link to the video down below. Watch it and make sure you make those phone calls. The greater Nevada area is Nevada, the greater Las Vegas area being heavily populated. There are a lot of people out here who can make a difference. And so just simply making a phone call, while it might not work in California and other places, it might actually work here. So make that phone call, write that email, and tell them, hey, if you want to continue to have a job, you're going to get rid of this, period, or else you're going to be on the way out. So that's what we need to do here. We need to make sure that we fight back, against this stuff so that, Nevada doesn't become the next California right next door. Thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. Have a great day.